Alright, vamos a empezar la conversación otra vez. Voy a comenzar ya. Aba frisa la teléfono. So aba abajo wani yano. Vamos a ver. Pero voy a comenzar ya. Aba solicitud long.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah,
Gabang? Kaya
yeah.
gagambong. Okay.
Okay, I got but Facebook. We want to apologize for cursing. We used the shit word, and because we used the word shit, and you probably tagged us, it was probably a keyword. We
Right.
want we
Yeah, we
okay.
can't use profanity.
Yeah, but
They
I
do
mean,
monitor this.
yeah, and everything we say is being monitored. So just allow us to continue to broadcast through this free channel. Black Star, what's up, H Town? Selena, welcome back to the talk. Everyone else that's on board right now, welcome back to the talk. Lisa Chamilio, Comunicador Garifuna, Bandi Isa, Nibuyado, Honduran, Hiwa. Wayano Hemusu, Comunicador Garifuna. Comunicador Garífuna es uno de la gente más involucrados que informa la comunidad garífuna de Honduras directamente. Él es parte de Ofrane y le queremos enviar muchas gracias. Hola, comunicador garífuna. Seremos logo sun le bedigove. Lida liri garífuna dual. Hinwayage Honduras. Support Comunicador Garifuna. Visit him on his page, Comunicador Garifuna. If you want any information, si usted quiere esa información de lo que está pasando directamente en Honduras, otra media garífuna es Comunicador Garífuna en Honduras. So, Pablo, estamos hablando ahorita sobre la gente individuales que podemos decir que ellos ¿cómo se dice success in Spanish? Success.
Ellos
Ellos han logrado,
progresaron.
han
Ellos
progresado.
progresaron en esa sociedad.
Okay, lo que
I don't
tienen.
I don't know how else to
Okay,
describe it in Spanish.
Thank you. We love you too, Selena. We're chopping up that Spanish a little bit, but we have successful Garifuna people, individual successful Garifuna people. Tenemos individuales que ya tienen o han logrado lo que quieren lograr en su vida individualmente. Pero eso es una cosa y lo felicitamos. Congratulations to those who are successful individually. But now let's have
Exitosos.
exitosos. Gracias.
Yeah.
Gracias, exitosos. Hablando de gente que son individuales, que son exitosos. Gracias, Elena. Le damos felicidades y todo eso, pero ahorita queremos hablar de exigir y ser un grupo de gente to succeed as a group of people as Garifuna and not as individual Garifuna people. How do we make that happen?
People respect communities, not individuals. So as an indigenous community, we could go very far. We could go farther as a community.
As a community.
Not as an individual.
Aurabuni, Amurununu.
And that's a concept that we gotta ingest. We have to like live, breathe, you know, and just embrace that concept again as a community. Because it makes no sense to have all these accomplished people if they're working against the community.
Right.
Or that they're not working for the empowerment or the upliftment of the community.
Right.
It doesn't make sense because we see here, prime example, model of successful Africans. Because we could call ourselves, we fit in part of that.
Yes, we do.
That narrative.
Yeah,
because of our phenotype. But we're really indigenous. But
right.
You know, people go by how your appearance first, right?
Yeah, what you look like.
Right. So in this country, we have a lot of successful African American people.
Right.
Right. Oprah, Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
The list goes
Magic
on and on.
Johnson.
Like, what have they done?
Right.
What have they done to empower
They haven't.
African Americans?
They haven't. Other than set an example of themselves, because look, you know, you can't, you know, I don't want to, we don't want, Mabruiga Garinagu is not trying to sound like we're knocking anybody, because we're not knocking anybody, because we applaud Michael Jordan again as a successful individual, Oprah as a successful individual. We also applaud all of their individual philanthropic work, because they all do phenomenal things in the communities. But at the same time, if they were to collect their efforts, right, and operate as a Black African American society, then the African American community would be more prosperous as a group of people right now in 2018. And we're screaming to our good evening people who in 221 years ago, we were exiled from St. Vincent. Now we are here in 2018, and we have these successful individuals. What Pablo Duvalier and I are saying to you is, join us. Bring your talent. If you're a nurse, if you're a CNA, if you're a doctor, if you're a phlebotomist, if you're a lawyer, if you're a paralegal, if you are a judge, if you are a school teacher, if you are a school principal, if you are a police officer, if you are a chief of the police department, if you are a firefighter, if you are a military man or woman, we need you to join us with the talent, whatever gift it is that you have, and bring it to the community, Pablo.
We have those persons in the community. We have very accomplished people in the community. The dilemma is that how do they identify themselves in these circles that they're in? Do they identify themselves as, because you know here in New York, we have a lot of Latino people. This term Afro-Latino is very heavy here in New York. Hispanic. Very heavy here in New York.
Very heavy.
So a lot of Garifuna people, they go over to that side because culturally and linguistically, they feel more comfortable. So that's what they identify with. But at the same time, you know, they're like spitting in the face of their grandmother, their Garifuna grandmother, and negating that experience. Some people go over to the African American side.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do you reconcile that? Well, somehow we gotta reconcile it.
The only way to reconcile that is through our actions, man. Is through our actions. What we do, what we say, how we act and behave after we say what we're going to do. All of that, and it's going to take about a generation. It's not going to happen overnight. It's been 221 years. You and I speak of the psychological concerns in our communities from the days of exile.
Mental health is a big issue, Trevor. Mental health is a big issue. Anybody that comes from poverty like we do, mental health is going to be an issue.
Right.
You know, what we got to do is we got to do like a psychological detox in our community.
Yes, we do.
Everybody from St. Vincent to Nicaragua, Guatemala, Honduras, Belize, we all need to be in a dabuyaba, in a big dabuyaba, and we need to just talk as a community. We need to talk as a community. Like, we were autonomous, sovereign nation prior to the arrival of the colonizers in Europe.
Right.
We dominated our existence.
Right. And we could do that again.
Profitable.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of Galician people understand that.
No, they don't know that.
I just don't think. I don't.
You can't.
They don't understand. They don't know.
Let's
put it that way. They just don't know. It's just a total lack of ignorance.
Because you can't understand what you don't know. Carmelita, you're absolutely right. And thank you for identifying yourself as Garifuna everywhere you go. Celso, thank you for watching. And Lisa Chamilio, you're absolutely right. It starts within our own families. That's where it starts and that's where it ends. within our families. We have to set the examples of ourselves for ourselves, Pablo.
Yes, exactly. I mean, every family, every Garifuna family needs to have 3 books. Sojourners of the Caribbean by Nancy Gonzalez, Black Carib Wars by Taylor.
Stephen Taylor.
I'm not sure if his name is Stephen Taylor, but the last name is Taylor. Black Carib Wars. Like
Yeah.
there, that's like a
Right.
history book of our experience in St. Vincent.
Right.
And there's another book. We need to get those books by Salvador Suazo translated from Garifuna to Spanish and English, because he has a lot of data about us as well. Like, we're a society. We're a complete society.
Complete.
That is unsuccessful in integrating with the dominant societies in Central America.
Yeah.
We need to stop that. Don't integrate. We see what happened here in America with Black Americans.
Bad.
Where they lost the whole middle class.
Right.
We had African Americans here in Tulsa, in Durham, North Carolina, Lincoln Heights, Rosewood,
right,
here in Brooklyn, that were doing very well after they set up the slaves free, and a lot of them were part of the Congress, and they were legislators,
business owners, homeowners.
Once integration happened,
bam,
that was done.
Bam. And
so us as Garifuna people, we have no business in integrating into the dominant societies of Honduras, Nicaragua, Guatemala. But let's not even do it. Don't even think of Bulihame.
Yeah, Bulihame, yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
No, but we don't need it. But we don't need it though. Again, we have to be first class Garifuna. You know what I'm saying? You are, every Garifuna person that is listening right now, you are a first-class citizen in Garifuna Nation. Once again, I repeat, I want you to meditate on that. I want you to think about that. You and I are first-class Garifuna citizens, not second-class anywhere else. Anytime you try to fit into a whole different circle that is not you, you are choosing to be a second-class citizen. You're choosing that. Why choose to be a second-class anything when you could be a first-class something? Right? But again, the only way that's going to happen, and it's happening right now, is a gradual process, but it takes dissemination of information. It takes people tuning in and listening and paying a little bit of attention, and also taking the information that they've received and pass it on, Pablo. You know what I mean?
I agree. And the thing is that we have to control our resources in Honduras. And right now, our biggest resources is land. And we have a fight for that. I mean, I know we have a fight for that in Honduras. There's a fight in Belize. I don't know too much about Nicaragua or
there's
Guatemala.
there's no land fight there in Guatemala as well. There's no land fight in St. Vincent. There's no land fight as well. But there is no economic empowerment. Everywhere Garifuna live as a collective group, not as individuals, we're living below poverty. Let that be known. I don't care how sharp I look right now, I'm broke. It's that simple. Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy. Okay, it's tough. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I know a ton of other Garifuna people in my same situation. And the only way we're going to alleviate that is collective effort. And that's the only thing pending, is for us to take collective effort.
That's the only way that is going to work for us, because as a community, we're socialists. Democracy does not work for us at all. Democracy is associated with capitalism.
Okay, do me a favor. Break down this socialist
poverty, socialism.
What is it? If you could just break down what it means, because look, socialism has a negative connotation out there. I'm a socialist, but it has a negative connotation out there, right?
Because people don't understand it. But Trevor, Garifuna people are socialists
Okay,
by nature
what does that mean?
because we care about our community as a whole.
Okay.
Now, socialism in political terms just means the equal distribution of resources.
Right.
That's what socialism.
Right. Isn't that
isn't
that what outer buni and mudanuni means?
Exactly. That's the same concept. That's the same concept. That's the same concept. We just know it has a negative connotation next to it because it's associated with Cuba and Venezuela, and those are big economies.
And what Western
media
has said about socialism, you know what I'm saying, which is muddy water. You know what I'm saying? It's tainted. And that's how Western media paints socialism, and that's why it has that negative connotation. But it comes back to Audubuni, Amura Nuni. You for me and I for you is it's the fundamental principle of the Garifuna people. That is the foundation on which they sit and rest and can say this is where our society started. We maintain that philosophy, and this is how it stayed alive. Right, Pablo?
That is correct. And again, we gotta go back to our experience in St. Vincent. I mean, we had Garifuna chiefs that were millionaires from the trade of yucca and other crops between them and the French.
Right.
I mean, in the 1700s, there were Garifuna chiefs that were millionaires. Satuye, who is the father of Duvalier, they were both millionaires. They were sending their children to boarding schools in Martinique and sending them to trips to France. So we could get back to that. I mean, that's how we are as a people. We just need to get back to that. We lost it. I think coming to this country, listen
to what
we forget about that.
Listen to what Carmelito Garifuna wrote. He said, "We are a divided unity." Once again, he said, "We are a divided unity." There is a mindset that needs to be deleted. That program needs to be rewritten.
That's a generation as well. That's the older generation. Right. The new generation, they don't care where you're from. I mean, some people in the Garifuna community, they do care where you're from.
Unfortunately,
they really care. Like even within Honduras, like
right. San Juan de Bugia, yeah. That's
the thing. We can't have kids. Like there's certain families. Even my mother told me certain families. Maybe bate gamaya de tumamututura. But Batisi, we was at Batis. Like it's like that. We go by families.
Right.
But again, that's a different generation. And they did that as like a barrier, so to speak.
Right.
And it doesn't apply to us now. I mean, what we're facing as an ethnic group, I mean, we're facing a silent genocide.
Well, we don't have
to. That's what we're facing as an ethnic group.
Yeah, well, we don't have to though.
Silent genocide.
Yeah, that's the attempt. It's an attempted silent genocide. It's an attempted silent genocide. And I'm not trying to go religious here, but I believe that God is with the Garifuna people. I believe that God has a greater purpose for us as a collective, with the history of having lived here in the West since time immemorial. We've been here forever. We saw Christopher Columbus sail in. That's the true story. And being able to maintain who we are throughout the transatlantic slave trade era.
Which we weren't a part of.
Which we weren't a part of, exactly.
We actually, this is something that people got to understand too. Like our history starts in 1300s through African explorers coming here, and the African explorers intermarried with the Kalinago women that were already in the Caribbean. That's where our history started in the 1300s.
Right,
That's
great.
when Garifuna,
First
the
class
whole
citizens. First class
yes,
citizens.
our whole lineage started in the 1300s in the Lesser Antilles Caribbean that we now know as Dominica, Martinique, St. Vincent. All these islands had Garifuna people there.
Right.
We, Trevor, were the first civil rights activists on the Western Hemisphere.
Right. Right.
Because we were fighting against the institution of slavery.
Yes. Yes. And people came to our land to run from slavery.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All the islands surrounding St. Vincent, which became the last stronghold of Garifuna people because we had all the warriors there.
Right.
They knew that once they made it to Yurumen, that they would not have to face enslavement.
Right. Right. So how do we bring that back? How do we bring that back to what's going on in Honduras with the caravan, with the exodus of people? Because we don't want people to think that we're just babbling away. We're just talking and, where there is no direction in which we're going. No, we want you to know we have direction. We're going in a particular direction, with the exodus of people coming in from Honduras, with a few Garifuna people involved. And so we also hear about an exodus of people coming from El Salvador, which could possibly means that if that does happen, it's possible that the entire South and Central America will have an exodus of people trying to come into the United States. Bringing it back to our Garifuna people and the message that we're trying to share with them.
Lute hasubu ni gainu ko hanyi bibanlita caravana ladega gibet logo aba gibeti yuruma gibeti, how you say poverty in Garifuna? Gibeti gudeme ya gibeti gudeme ya Mabruiga.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah. Tal vez te voy a la fume te enge Mabruiga Garinagu live on TV. I mean, live on Facebook. It's possible that we're the first Garifuna people online speaking to Garifuna people in Honduras, Belize, Nicaragua, St. Vincent, Guatemala, and telling them that there's a lot of poverty right here in the United States. So, Pablo, you're absolutely right in saying it. Give it to Gudeme y Mabruiga. Go ahead.
I gotta say it in Spanish too. Aquí hay mucha pobreza. A los hermanos que vienen de Honduras. Aquí hay mucha pobreza en los Estados Unidos. Actualmente. Hay gente, cuando yo agarro el tren, me están pidiendo por dinero. I don't know. I must look like a millionaire or something. Because it's an epidemic right here in the Bronx. Yo vivo en el Bronx. Right. Y aquí hay mucha pobreza aquí en el Bronx. Hay más pobreza en el Bronx que en Cuba.
Right.
Yo vi más pobreza en el Bronx que en el país de Cuba.
Right.
So nosotros como Garifuna,
gente Garifuna, y ahí viven Garifuna. Y ahí vive el multitud de Garifuna. ¿Y por qué viven? Yeah, porque allí es a donde podemos vivir. En Houston, Texas, vivimos en el 5º barrio, donde también hay pobreza. Y no estamos diciendo que son comunidades cochinos, por decir. Pero allí existe la pobreza. Y solamente ahí podemos sobrevivir aquí o acá en los Estados Unidos hasta que logramos algo. Pero en nuestra tierra, back home, you could afford to have your own home. You could build your own home.
Right.
Right, Pablo? You could have your own land. You could grow your own food. The only thing you have to pay for may be some electricity. And we're about to change that. Because
with solar,
we're about to bring solar energy to Garifuna communities, okay? So that you won't have to pay for electricity from the man. You could actually distribute the excess electricity that you have and get paid for it.
See, that's the thing. Like, we don't see how much wealth we have back home.
Right.
We just see it more as like a retirement, as a vacation. But there's a lot of wealth. There's a group of African Americans that I follow that they build like homes, and they do this whole thing with ecotourism, with the health. They're already in Honduras.
Living it up.
They ain't got Seba. I follow them. They're Black American, and they saying that the food quality in Honduras is very good.
Right.
And the quality of life is good.
Right. Yeah, I saw a sister.
Now, how come the people in Honduras don't see that?
Yeah, well, because remember now, once we come to America, look, it's hard to blame people for wanting to come to America. Because, you know, outside of America, I don't know who I was talking to. I'm always talking to someone, but anyway, we were talking about this. I was speaking with a brother from Oakland, California, a very conscious brother. Peace be upon him. He said that the U.S. has they're very tactful and very successful in painting a picture that says America is where you want to be.
That's propaganda. That's the promotional marketing.
I mean, they have the best marketing out there in regards to this is where you want to be. And when you paint that kind of picture, and there's no one like you and I to counter that, to say, hey, give it to Gudeme Yameriga, Chula how, give it to Gudeme. Yembe where you make it by Yameriga. Ida buka make it by Honduras. Ida buka make it by Baigiba. Pero Yameriga, Yembe da make it by Dibu. Ya buega, Baigi by Le Mambo so by Baigi. Yameriga. Yembe da, Babugu, I ain't get the baby redder. Let go with the saints of Bumaluba fire on Nihalela Bedder. Mango Habeta Gaino Boom, they had children on Dura, a bullet for her. They had children the Balisi, a bullet for her. And they had that Mabatibu. Mos Bedo on Luma, Mos Nado Luma Pablo, or Ledo Pablo Numa, La Duga Bugawa Lubi, Ya Meriga. Pero they have feigned the Unicate Bulogo Meriga. Wait to soon cate, Bimeti soon cate. Sumbagaragun, pero inaru dereti bagari, give it to Gudeme Yameriga. Pero Pablo, how do we encourage the only way that our people are going to stay back home? La única manera que nuestra gente se van a quedar. Lume herete Ruanigo Honduras, mosu crear uma economía. We have to establish Garifuna economy.
Yes.
Jobs. And that's one of the things that we're going to discuss in Chicago, November 9th and 10th. Lo que pueden llegar a Chicago, Noviembre 9 y 10, para hablar con nosotros. Carmelito Garifuna, si puede llegar. Vamos a hablar sobre economía.
He was just in Chicago. He was just in Chicago. I seen the post that you put up because when you was in Chicago at Garifuna Flavor. Okay. But the thing is that the goal is to create jobs or create entrepreneurs.
Right.
In Honduras.
Okay. Carmelito is in Chicago right now. Stay there till November the 9th and 10th, and you'll be a part of what we're doing. Ferudu Ban and Pablo.
So the goal is to create entrepreneurs.
Right.
There's a couple of people in Honduras that's already doing it. Like Gifiti Francois, he got this line of Gifiti.
Right.
That he's mass producing. There's a brother in I think Sabo Crico Corosar who has a shirt business, a Garifuna shirt business.
Right, Wani.
Something like that.
Okay.
And I mean, there are other persons. There are other persons who are monetizing the Garifuna culture.
Others, too.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. No.
There is nothing wrong with that.
But there's a problem with.
We got a brother here that makes drums.
No, but there's an Asian. The Asians and I'm not trying to cut you. I'm just going back and forth with you. There are Asians in Belize that are trying to patent Ereba.
See? Look at that. Now, what's going to happen if they patent Ereba in Belize? That means they'll have exclusive rights to produce Ereba.
Yep. In Belize.
What is the NGC or the Belizean people do? Are they protesting this? I mean, what are they doing? I mean, they just in
Right.
church somewhere? Because
Yeah, no.
I don't,
Nah, man.
I gotta throw that in there because it just seemed like we got too many people, too many Garifuna people in church. I gotta throw that in there. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have to be about empowering us if you're in church. You know what
Pablo,
I'm saying?
yeah, Chopin. So that may boom he was. So that may boom Chopin. No, man, bro, you're right about that. But look,
That is disturbing.
no. We have the president
Just
of
like, oh, Trevor, have you heard of the super grain called teff?
no.
Teff is a super grain that was a lot of Ethiopia is part of the Ethiopian staple food,
Okay.
just like Ereba is part of our staple food.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lady, I think she was from Holland, that was trying to patent teff, the actual grain.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't pay attention, people could patent the way we make drums,
right?
The way we make Ereba, like that whole process. That's patentable.
No. If we don't pay attention, if we don't take action, because all of these things are running through our mind, Pablo. Chutila garifuna hiwa gibiti wasami no pero asami no wamuti madiga wamuti. There's a lot of the garifuna people are very smart, but there are too many things we just think about it and we don't take the action necessary. So it's more than just paying attention, it's taking action. Are you familiar with the Carib Reserve that's in Belize? Of land. It's this reserve of land that belongs to Garifuna people in Belize that they're just now tapping into, that has been there, and there are people that are squatting on it. We're not taking action. You feel me? We're not taking action.
See, here's the problem, Trevor. Here's the problem. We don't have a council in the government, and we don't even have a council within ourselves.
International Garifuna Council coming up, and we
don't have a council within ourselves,
right,
to like administer these things and to pay attention to them.
Right.
You know, this whole patronato, this whole alcalde setup, the patronatos, one community council per community. That's not working. That is not working. We need a federation that all Garifuna communities could be a part of.
Right.
And through that federation, we could actually do things.
Can I plug in the International Garifuna Council?
Yes, you could go ahead and plug them in. We talked with Joyce Cayetano about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we spoke with her. She's the president of Joyce Cayetano. She's born in Belize. She lives in Los Angeles, California. She is our interim president of the International Garifuna Council. We're looking for individuals in the U.S. and outside of the U.S. in each individual country to sit on the International Garifuna Council. We're going to have executive team here representing each country, executive team in each country representing that country, and then as a whole, we will be representing Garifuna Nation, because the Garifuna Nation, where Ruben Reyes is the president of that group, is the executive team of the Nation of Garifuna people. So we're in the process of building that council, and that council is going to lead to an executive team that is going to govern the Garifuna body. So we need for you to be a part of that.
That's very important. That should have been done a while ago. But again, we're still in the phase of organizing ourselves as a community.
Right.
We need that representation. We need people in the United Nations to speak on indigenous people. We need a Garifuna person there.
Right.
The fact that we're not there speaks volumes about what we're doing as a society. What are we doing?
Right. It's a whole lot that needs to be done. And to answer your question, Carmelito Garifuna is going to be a Garifuna flavor, November 9th and 10th. And Carmelito was asking about the symposium, I believe. It's going to be November the 9th and 10th at Garifuna Flavor in Los Angeles, 2518 West 63rd Street in Chicago, Illinois, 60629. You can contact
So,
Garifuna Flavor.
Trevor, I want to wrap up the conversation with my experience yesterday at Columbia University at the panel discussion. Honduras and Nicaragua surviving oppression.
Okay.
Now, when I walk in, I seen a whole bunch of Chumagu.
Oh,
I was the only guy from there. I was the only guy there. I saw the food. I went straight to the food.
Right.
I had some yuca. I had some salad. I had some pupusa. You know, there was a girl that came up, a young lady that came up to me. She was like, "You enjoying the pupusa?" Because, you know, the way I was looking, I look more Black American. I don't look Honduran, whatever that means.
Right.
I don't know, you know, I just didn't have that look. But we started to have I conversed with her, and she asked me, are you Garifuna? And then I asked her, the conversation revolved around pupusa. Right. I asked her, where's pupusa from? Because we don't eat that in Honduras.
Right.
And she was like, yes, you do. She was like, yes, you do. I was like, no, we don't. She was like, I've been to Travesía, I've been to Baja Mar, and I had it there. I'm like, pupusa, those are Garifuna communities, but pupusas is not a Garifuna dish.
Right.
And then we was just going back and forth. But the conversation, the panel discussion was very interesting in terms of the demographic, me being the only Garifuna there. There was a whole bunch of Chumagu there. And them wrestling with this oppressive regime in Nicaragua and Honduras. There were people there that were PhD candidates. It's mostly students, relatively young. This was like an introduction to political science to them.
Okay.
And I couldn't, as I'm sitting there and I'm listening to these persons talking and I'm listening to the questions, if the country of Honduras is doing this to their own people,
right,
which is oppressing them, and this is their own people,
right,
where exactly do Garifuna people fit in? If the country of Honduras is doing this to their own people, keeping in mind that we don't have any political, economic, social power or equity in the country,
and none, zero.
How do they view us? Like I began to really think, how do the Chumagunu view us as a community in Honduras?
As underclass.
And I'll stay with that. I'll leave you with that. And that's something that is a very delicate topic, because a lot of people will be offended in the way that these persons, I mean, some of them were cool. Like the person that through the event, Jalea Garcia, shouts out to her. She was very welcoming. But the other people there,
right,
man, I didn't feel welcome.
Right. Mabruiga Yoba.
I did not feel welcome.
Yeah, Mabruiga Yoba, the Houston, and Chopin, you're absolutely right as well. Feeling welcome at this point in 2018 to me is, and Chopin, you're right, we just get exploited everywhere we go. And this is why the next thing I'm about to say as we close is important. We are first-class citizens. I don't know how many of y'all watched that movie Black Panther with the people from Uganda or from Wakanda. Okay, that's a fictitious land. That place don't exist. Okay, but
Trevor, some persons think that place does exist.
I know ignorant people think it exists, but they painted that picture. But my point is, we're Garifuna, and that place exists. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? We're Garifuna, and that place exists. And in that place, just like the people from Wakanda, we're first-class citizens. We're first-class citizens of the Garifuna nation. And if we would just dare to take our talents and our gifts and bring them together and work collectively as a people, then it wouldn't matter, Pablo, when we walk into a room and we're not acknowledged. It doesn't matter, brother. It doesn't matter. Because I know who Pablo Blanco is, Duvalier Blanco is. I know who you are. And you are an important man. And you are an important man to a whole nation of people.
But Trevor, that's beside the point. I didn't have a problem with not being acknowledged. I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is that in Honduras, Honduras is a unique place for us because as long as we've been there, we don't have anything tangible necessarily.
That's our fault.
Community.
Pablo, that's our fault. That's our fault. I don't blame the government of Honduras. Okay? That's our fault. If you set the condition for whatever you want to accomplish, you can make it happen. We've had default quality leaderships who have done things for personal interest, and they have not done it for the people, man. Okay? The reason, again, I don't know another group of people. Google them up. Google up another group of people, including the Native Americans. They're wealthy in the United States, those who are the chiefs of these reservations. They're wealthy. They own casinos. Okay?
Yeah, they're over here in Connecticut.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? I don't know another group of people that possess as much land as we do. And land is the #1 commodity on planet Earth. Land.
Well, not just land, but we have land that's close to sea.
We're not even talking about rivers.
That yet. And I'm trying to figure out why or how we got to this point. Leadership. Because look, so we lack progressive leaders.
Exactly. That think about the whole. Okay? Because a lot of our leaders, they think regionally. They think locally. Okay? A lot of them, I'm only worried about Belize. I'm patronato of this community. I don't care what happens in Triunfo because I'm the patronato of Guadalupe. They think small. They don't think about the whole picture, man. That's what the problem has been. And I'm thankful for everything that they've done, Pablo. I'm not saying, I'm pointing fingers and saying they haven't accomplished anything. Okay? Because everything that they've done has brought us to this point. Period. And I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, if they were progressive, just like you're saying, but progressive thinkers collectively, okay? I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. Offering it's a progressive movement. But it's not a progressive collective thinker. It's not thinking about, hey, what if we got like right now, they have 2 international court cases that they won.
Oh, do you have any updates in regards to those court cases?
They're still fighting it. 2015 and 17, they won 2 cases. One in Triunfo de la Cruz, and I believe the other one in Punta Piedra. They're right now fighting the government of Honduras to enforce those cases and make them come to pass. So even, and am I making a very valid point here? So even when we use the system to work for us, you with me, Pablo? Even when we use the system to work for us, it doesn't. So our only option is to really think for ourselves, by ourselves, for our own community, to empower our community, and not to be a separatist, but definitely not any kind of.
It's not separatist. We got to think along the lines of Garifuna nationalist. There's a difference. We have to think along the lines of Garifuna nationalist.
Right.
Everything has to evolve from our culture.
Right.
We need a council. We need to set up. We need to set ourselves up structurally. We need a council. We need advisors. We need consultants. I mean, we need an executive board that does a check and balances all these things,
Right.
and
Right.
it's gonna take time to set up.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
take
take
time.
time to set up and get the right people in these places to think from a socially progressive standpoint in which the benefits of the community could be reaped by everyone,
Right.
not just one person.
Right. And Chopin, the flag has Ruben Reyes. And if you're going to be in Chicago, there's going to be an extensive comment. Chopin said two things. And thank you for engaging, Chopin. Your questions and your comments are important right here in Mabruiga Garinagu. Chopin says that we need a Garifuna song, one Garifuna song that's clear. Chopin says we need a flag that's also clear. When we get to Chicago, we're going to discuss both of those elements. On Friday, November the 9th, there's going to be a leadership meeting in Garifuna Flavor. There's going to be PowerPoint presentation on both subject matters by President of Garifuna Nation, Ruben Reyes. So Chopin, absolutely. We need that anthem. We need that flag that is going to put some momentum behind the nationalism that Pablo, you just alluded to right now. That nationalism doesn't have to be separatist in thinking. There's nothing wrong with being nationalist if what you're trying to do is to empower your community. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight. Again, my name is Trevor Palacio from San Francisco, California, Bay Area with Mabruiga Garinagu. And we're here because we're in the process of establishing Garifuna Media. Okay, this is the place where you could tune in on Sundays. You could tune in to Gary Vision out of Los Angeles on Thursdays. You could tune in to Habafu Garinagu on Sundays, 1 p.m. in Belize with Robert Mariano. You could tune in to Comunicador Garifuna, who's constantly giving out information in Wagia Radio Limon in Honduras. And we're in the process of establishing Garifuna Media, which will be another subject matter that we will discuss in Chicago, November 9th and 10th. And again, my name is Trevor Palacio out of San Francisco Bay, California. Mabruiga. Pablo.
Y Nuguía, Pablo Blanco, Niribe, Yague, New York. Nosotros estamos tratando de establecer una red social que va a diseminar información sobre el pueblo garífuna, porque nosotros somos un pueblo que es vulnerable a muchas cosas y nosotros tenemos que tener una red donde la información solo sea del pueblo garífuna.
Sí.
Nosotros nos afectan muchas cosas, tanto en Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Belice, aquí en los Estados Unidos, y esta conversación semanal es para establecer esta red.
Right.
Nosotros vamos a estar en Chicago desde a partir del 9 de noviembre.
Sí, y 10. Sí.
Hablando de cómo podemos fortalecer nuestra comunidad y trabajar juntos colectivamente para evitar las desgracias que está pasando ahorita con esta caravana de migración. Nosotros tenemos mucha riqueza en nuestro pueblo.
Sí, señor.
El problema es que nosotros no trabajamos colectivamente como una comunidad.
Sí, señor.
Para que nosotros, la tema es, el goal. How you say, I don't know how to say go in Spanish.
Tema.
La perspectiva es que nosotros paramos la inmigración para los Estados Unidos.
Right.
A construir negocios en Honduras que nos dé dinero para que nosotros podamos vivir con una dignidad, con una humanidad.
De poder económica.
Como nuestros antepasados.
Sí.
Nuestros antepasados hacían eso. Ellos la migración no era algo grande para ellos como ahora. So, nosotros le esperamos la próxima semana. I believe I have Pablo Gómez coming.
La meta. Ariola Roches, la meta. Gracias, gracias.
Tú sabes que mi español
Wacho
no es
gunyete
tan,
chumaka lehiwa, wacho gunyete chumaka lumagarifu lehiwa.
mi español no está tan bien, pero yo pienso más rápido en
En
inglés.
inglés, pero
Pero
wacho
Garífuna es segundo,
gunyete
después viene español.
wacho gunyete, no, wacho gunyete.
No, what me away, Guti, what me away, lida uru idioma.
Yeah.
We
Urbe
international.
nyenye. Yeah.
Uru
Yeah.
We
Right.
international, man. We can't speak one night. I'm learning French as it is.
Right. Right.
I have to learn French
Yeah.
because there's a lot of data in the French National Archives
Right.
about us.
And I'm working
And I
on
want to be able
Swahili.
to read
I'm
it.
working on Swahili. I'm with you. We need to be multifaceted, prepared for any situation. Tupac Shakur said in a song, I'm a player with a passport. Every Garifuna person is automatically born a player with a passport. Maximize on that. You know what I'm saying? So we want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight, all of you who are with us. If you have any questions or concerns about Mabruiga Garinagu, contact our leader, our CEO, our executive director, Pablo Duvalle Blanco in New York, or myself, Trevor Palacio, right here in San Francisco Bay Area. Mabruiga home soon, Wani.
So Mabruiga home so wanigo wewe banya leabaya semana
Dimas.
leabaya dimas. Buitu gunyo home so mumadago. So good night, everyone. See you next Sunday, where my guest will be Pablo Gomez. He started the Honduran parade, and we're gonna have a conversation with him regarding leadership in New York. So I hope to see you guys then. La próxima semana vamos a tener una conversación con Pablo Gómez. Él es una persona que empezó de la parada hondureña aquí en Nueva York. Eso es el próximo domingo a las 10. Muy tiguño, un maduro. Good night.